This is John Abraham, Principal Analyst at Analysys Mason. For most CSPs, the consumer side of the business has traditionally been the most important and attracted the most attention over the past 20, 25, 30 years because of mobile mobility, mobile subscribers, smartphones, data explosion and so on. But at the same time, many CSPs have offered some form of enterprise services, but it was never a major revenue focus or focus at all, really. It was secondary, a bit of a Cinderella. But you've just written a report about CSP monetization of enterprise services. So let's talk about that. Can you tell us why enterprise is suddenly becoming increasingly important focus for service providers and outline some of the factors impacting on this area? Because now suddenly people are looking at SMEs, and as I was told earlier today, an SME average size is 6.3 people. Mm-hmm. So, small companies, right, but very important.
Yeah. So it's a good question. And, I think it's fair to say that you're right. Generally, operators have had a lot of emphasis on the consumer side of the business because that's traditionally been the revenue generator in a significant way for most operators. This is not to say operators have completely disregarded enterprise, but they have been more or less on the fringes of their focus. So what's changed, or what's actually driving the change? There are a few things. One is there is a lot of margin pressure on the consumer side of the business. So subscriber growth, at least in Western developed countries, have taken off, and acquiring each new subscriber comes at a very large cost, where it actually does not make it feasible anymore. And on the other side, there is also competition from both operators and also from OTT providers that's further driving down the margin. And in the middle of all this, there is this huge investment in 5G. See, 5G, predominantly the business case around 5G is based on the enterprise. There will be some initial uplift in revenue driven by use cases that are focused on the consumer, certainly. But for the most part, the heavy lifting in terms of the business case for 5G is built on the enterprise. And that actually introduces a whole new set of urgency for operators to address the enterprise market.